welcome back to our show. Every once in a while we do get away from real estate and finance and houses for a little bit. And I'd like to introduce you to something that is fun and exciting. And with the Sonics now coming back to town, a lot of people might be thinking how they can get more connected with some of these sports teams, some of the athletes that are out there. Kerry Carter and Joe Tafoya join us from Jumpit Media and jumpitmedia.com, which website is launching tomorrow. Welcome back, guys. How you been?
Excellent, man. Thanks for having us again.
Yeah, well, it's my pleasure. It's good to see you. And, and Joe, geez, you're a fellow Wildcat, so, we got some hoops to talk about, too, at some point in time.
All right. I look forward to that.
Yeah. So you guys both played for the Seahawks. You guys must have had a lot of fun during the little run we had. And
oh, man, it was a great year. Like, it's my first year out of football completely, and seeing it from a different perspective has been amazing. Just the emotions that you go through as a fan. Haven't experienced that in a long time, so it was a cool ride.
It
was cool right up until we lost.
Right, for that last 30 minutes. We don't talk about that anymore. It was a fun season. When you guys think about the Sonics coming back, I know that your company has a lot to do with creating community around retired athletes, around current athletes, so that they can be a little bit more involved in their community, and then also help businesses grow. Do you tend to think that the Sonics coming back is a good aspect to that community building?
It can't be a bad thing at all. The Sonics coming back into town will bring us more clients, will bring us more activity during a season where it's kind of our downtime, It's always nice to have a professional basketball team in town as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the action ramps up, and it just keeps that conversation fresh in people's minds. After football season's over, that whole culture is kind of year round, but during the season it's heightened so much. So seeing that basketball now is going to come back and continue, and hockey too. Don't forget about hockey. I'm a Canadian, so watching my hockey.
So you're the only one in the room who knows anything about it. That's awesome.
Exactly. Pretty much. Yeah.
How did you guys? I know coming from athletics, and now having a company that really meshes athletics and I guess your average business sometimes. How did you come up with this business? Tell us a little about maybe the story that led to what will be a launch tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it started kind of while we were playing, and we saw, this need. First of all, for us, Joe and I, being professional athletes and kind of going through that lifelong process of really competing and trying to find out what your true value is. On the field, there's one thing, and they're able to kind of tell you, measurables, height, weight, speed, all of that stuff. But, what does that mean when you step off of the field and step into the community and, connect with businesses? What's your real worth, for appearances and your overall value? And we saw that, there was no real measure for that. And, we kind of looked at ways that we could connect those two things by using technology and really finding a way to value your off-the-field worth, or your media market value, as we like to refer to it as. And, that's where we first started, and things have kind of, grown since then. But Joe can tell you a little bit more about how that process went.
Yeah, for me, it was actually pretty personal because in 2008, I broke my foot and tore some ligaments, and my career ended immediately and very unceremoniously. And so I spent the entire 2008 season sitting on the couch wearing a boot and popping pain medicine, watching my former team make it all the way to the Super Bowl. For the first time in the history of Arizona, the Cardinals are going to the Super Bowl. And I felt like I had a small part in it, and building up the locker room, the culture in the locker room is a very important factor that is often overlooked. The team camaraderie, how teams get together, how they work together, ultimately how they play together. I felt like I had a part in that, and sitting on the couch watching them go to the Super Bowl, it took me into a low point in life, and I really didn't understand what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life, because football had been life for me for 19 years. And so when that part was over, I had to reinvent myself. And I know that it's a transition that often gets overlooked. Most people, they just assume that, you're a professional football player, you have all of these outlets. Some have money, some don't. But you start to go through a level of self-doubt, and there's all these things that happen that you need help with. And if you don't know where to find the help, if you don't know where you're looking, if you don't have somebody in your immediate network that can help you, you'll fall by the wayside, and statistics prove that.
Mm-hmm. Well, athletes in athletics, Seahawks, Sonics, the professional sports teams do play a big role in I think, city cultures. I think you guys also bring this to kind of down to a business culture and what you're able to do.
Yeah, well, it's about connecting those two and, filling a need and filling a gap. And businesses want to connect to those, those athletes, those individuals, and connect the two communities because they do help each other. Bringing traffic and keeping that excitement helps a business continue to grow. And, each week when people come out to watch a game, they're filling the seats, they're creating this conversation and this culture around it. So we wanted to kind of sit at the intersection of those two and connect the, retired community, the legends, back to the community where they actually have local equity. And, they've built this up over the years. And then the current guys, we kind of look at it as their social equity and what they can do for the value of a business and their affiliation with, whether it's a local restaurant or sports bar, or, any business that relies on traffic coming through there. So,
well, and also to that point of the competition fact, you kind of allow people to, in some ways, jump back into the game and try to create something that, maybe exceeds expectation for a company that's hired them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually where the name of the company came from, was you make this transition and you go either you fall by the wayside or you jump into the next profession, whatever that's going to be. And for Kerry and I, we've had the opportunity to work with both NFL legends, active players, and even some young guys, really, really young guys that are up and coming. And a common thing among all of them is that they're all entrepreneurs in their own right, because every time they are out there, they're selling themselves, they're marketing themselves, they have to run their own company, the company of themselves. And
their personal brand, really. I mean, that's
exactly. Yeah. And some of these guys hire social media managers to reach out to their fans. Some of them have PR teams. Some of them work.
Some of them are named Richard Sherman, and people just come to him, right?
They find their way.
Yeah. So all of these things combine for one thing. They combine to put the player on the map. And when that player is on the map and he becomes a person of interest, like a Richard Sherman or Russell Wilson, then there's opportunity born from it. And what do you do with that? And so we're focused on capitalizing on that opportunity.
So what are some of the things you actually do, or how do you help people capitalize? What are the actual actions that somebody can take that maybe you've done in the past or you look forward to doing in the future?
Well, specifically with local businesses, we focus on loyalty programs and a way to kind of reward those customers that are loyal to you and create brand affinity by bringing in one of our high-profile influencers to increase your reach and increase the visibility of an event, a cause, or just your location in itself. So, we help the local businesses that way, and then we help the athletes by helping them connect and find a way to monetize their value that they've built up. So that's a specific instance in how we help.
And so one of these, I know you guys have done some stuff with like Tulalip Casino.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about that a little bit, as just to kind of give an example.
Yeah, so we've had a long-standing relationship with Tulalip Tribe, and they have a very significant loyalty program, and they have different levels of loyalty. And the people at the top, obviously, are the people that spend the most money. They want to reward them. And when we struck the deal, it was all about exclusivity. And so what we did was we put a program together where every Monday night we would have one of our influencers come out to the casino and watch the game with them, sign autographs. And this is a very exclusive event for the casino because they're showing that they have this reach into a very exclusive thing that their Orca Club members or their whales have the opportunity to join up with some of our influencers and watch the game, get insight, take pictures. And then all they want to do is post them on Facebook and show their friends how cool they are too. And the viral nature of that creates interest. And so the friends or the people that are on the outside are saying, well, wait a minute, what's going on over there? I want to be part of that. It's the cool party that's going on, right? And so Tulalip has
football at a casino, man. I'm in.
Tulalip has the opportunity to capitalize on that growing interest, and they've done so. And the numbers that we're recording are pretty significant for loyalty activation.
And now really it's about taking that, somewhat of that model and putting it into other businesses that are local that can gain, really measurable advantages by by putting, as you call them, the high influence people in front of their customers, in front of their loyal customers, and building that brand.
That's exactly how we look at expanding the business into different verticals, so but with a common theme of that loyalty program. And we're looking mostly at businesses that already have a loyalty program in place, and then we can actually put in a campaign that we can measure over a certain amount of time and give them measurable results. And that's we're as much as we talk about sports and technology, we're an analytics company. We're focused on the numbers, and we're focused on actual measurable growth.
You guys are more like draft day than the intangibles, huh?
Exactly.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us again, Kerry Carter and Joe Tafoya. And the website, which launches tomorrow, is jumpitmedia.com, and certainly they can reach out and learn more and contact you guys that way.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again. Thanks for joining us. Again, that's jumpitmedia.com. We'll be right back after these messages to get more opinions from everybody who's in studio today. We'll be right back.